Hi friends, and a very warm welcome to all of you in this e-learning program that is organized by Sri Gyanmantra Vidyapit. Harsham welcomes you in this session of tissue. Try to recall what we did in our last lecture. We started with complex permanent tissue. This is what we started with, and in our today's session we are going to do the part 2 of complex permanent tissue. Try to recall which part we did in the last lecture. In the last lecture we discussed about the 4 parts of xylem, and in our today's lecture we are going to discuss about the 4 parts of phloem. Before we move further, I want to discuss with you what part we did beforehand. So, about the complex permanent tissue, xylem and phloem. Okay, this is about. Now let's have a look at the complex permanent tissue, that is the xylem and phloem. You can see with the help of air, water and chlorophyll. Object is able to make its own food, the plants. Okay, so that is because of the 2 types of tissue, that is xylem and phloem. This we had seen last time. You can see that over here the conduction is only in one vein. The conduction is only in just one way over here in the upward direction, while in phloem you can see it is in the upward as well as in the downward direction. Okay, so that is because of the xylem and phloem. We had already discussed about the movement of the particles. Okay, if it's unidirectional then it is in xylem, and if it is bidirectional then it is in phloem. Let's move further on the complex permanent tissue types. This is how its diagram is looking like. The xylem vessel, where there is conduction in just one vein and water and minerals are flowing. You can see over here the walls are lignified. That means there is a layer of lignin. While coming to the phloem, in phloem there is, as try to recall, I made you learn phloem for so it will move for the conduction of food. Water as well as food are transported through phloem. Cells are involved with perforations. This part we had already discussed. It's a quick look. Now xylem. Again, we had already learned about xylem. In today's session, we are going to study about the phloem and the protective tissue. This is what you already know: xylem tracheids, vessels, fibers and parenchyma. You can see how the tracheids are. The lumen is wide while the ends are tapered. If we talk about the vessels, then they are stacked one over the other. Ek ni upar ek, they are forming the big rows like this. Okay, so this is about the complex permanent tissue. Then about its 4 parts. These are the 4 parts that we had discussed last time: tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. If we talk about tracheids, then they are dead cell walls. The ends are lignified and lumen is wide while they are tapered towards the end. Coming to the vessels, then they are stacked one over the other and they are possessing pits. Where do they occur? In angiosperms. Coming to the parenchyma, they are the only living cells which store food. While xylem fibers, they are the one that are forming the thick walls. Okay? So these are the points we had already discussed about the xylem. Then about the conduction. Once again, xylem only in one direction, and here is the view of it. These are the vessels stacked one over the other. These are tracheids, fibers and parenchyma. Okay. The next particular view is the view of phloem. Just observe, and with the help of the observation we are going to study about the 4 parts of phloem. You can see over here these fibers. Correct? The fibers are visible from here. Now just look at the fiber and just try to tell me about what do you observe by looking at the fiber. Just observe it. By looking at the fiber, it becomes clear to you that these fibers, the ends are tapered. Okay, and how are the fibers? The fibers are narrow. Then the sieve tubes. At the end of the sieve tubes, there is a sieve plate. And you can see how the sieve plate is. It is slightly bulging. Bulging means it is a bit fully hoy. So sieve plate which is bulging, and like sieve tubes only, exactly like sieve tubes, there are another cells which are called as companion cells. So sieve tubes and companion cells, they are also called as sisters, because coming to the origin as well as function, it's almost the same. Then the last part, that is xylem parenchyma. Sorry, phloem parenchyma, which is visible over here. What is the work of phloem parenchyma? It helps in the lateral conduction. Now, what is the meaning of the word lateral conduction? So, every time, whenever we talk about the movement of the food, it is not always like that the food is going upward only. Food is also going in the sidewards direction. It can go on one side or the other side. It depends. So, when the movement is like this, it is called as the lateral conduction. So for the lateral conduction of these solids, it is phloem which is helpful. Okay, so this is about the phloem. Now we are going to discuss about the 4 parts in detail with the help of a table. Here it is, the table, the sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and fibers. We had already discussed about the content with the help of the diagram. Now we'll see what is written over here. These are the tubular cells, and at the end there are sieve plates which are bulging. Okay, here also you can see the sieve plates. It is bit bulged, and it has perforation for the conduction of food. Even for movement of any kind of things, the perforations are needed. And then next part, companion cells. Exactly like sieve tubes, they have common origin and function, so they are called as bean cells. That is the sister cells. And they lie between the sieve tube cells and plasmodesmata. Plasmodesmata, that is the outer layer. You all are knowing, no, that these are 2 cells, and between 2 cells there is a junction. So between sieve tube cells and the plasmodesmata, the companion cells are residing. Coming to the phloem parenchyma, they help in the lateral conduction of solids. Fibers, they are narrow lumen and they are having the tapering ends. We have discussed about all these things. Okay, note it down. After that, I'll do the content of phloem again for you, so that you will be able to learn it quickly. Just write it. I'm waiting for you 2 minutes over here only. After you note down, I'll move further. Be quick and note it. Sieve plate, tube, companion cell, phloem parenchyma, all these things. Just if you keep the diagram in your brain, things become more and more clear. So I hope you have noted the content. Coming back to the next particular slide, phloem parenchyma, you can see over here about its 4 parts: sieve elements, companion cells, fibers and parenchyma. Here is the view of it. Okay, we have discussed about all the 4 parts. Now coming to the basic classification once again. We have discussed about what? Tissue. In that tissue we have discussed about 2 types. One is plant tissue, another one is animal tissue. Coming to the plant tissue, it is bifurcated into 2 types. That is meristematic and permanent. Meristematic is of how many types? 3 types. Apical, intercalary, and lateral. Coming to permanent, then permanent is of 3 types. Simple, complex, and special. This we have already discussed. Now coming to simple. We have already discussed simple, but still we'll have a look at it. So let's see simple once again. The reason we are revising so much is because it's biology. So here it is, the 3 types of simple permanent tissue, which is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Coming to this cell shape, then they are isodiametric. Iso means same, diametric means having similar diameters. Then comes about the cell wall, it is made up of cellulose, while here it is pectin, here it is lignin. Here it is pectin, while this one is lignin. Coming to cytoplasm, there is abundant over here. Here it is present, while in sclerenchyma there is no cytoplasm. These are living tissues, while these are dead tissues, because the nucleus is absent. Vacuoles, large vacuoles, vacuolate, and here they are absent. Intercellular space present, absent and absent. Actually, it's a bit less sometimes. So sometimes it's yes. Okay? Occurrence, basically packing tissues, and they are present over here in the pith, cortex, and in the medullary rays, where they are occurring in the dicot stems, absent in the monocot, that means present in dicots. We have discussed about it. And here they are present in the seeds and pulp of the fruits. Coming to their functions, they are storing the food, helping in the buoyancy, they are providing mechanical strength, the collenchyma, and for the protection against any kind of strain, it is sclerenchyma. It is of two types, fibers and sclerites. Okay, and that was about this simple permanent tissue. Parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Coming to special tissues, these are protective tissues and glandular tissues. If we talk about the glandular tissues, then they are generally present in the breast. About the glandular tissues, nothing is given in your book, only the name is given. So just in one line I explained it to you. Coming to the protective tissue, it is given in detail in your book. Okay, the protective tissue is given in detail in your book. So we are going to learn about the protective tissue, and here it is. The protective tissue. It is forming the outer layer, and protective means it is protecting from pathogens or any other harsh climatic conditions. They are closely packed and intercellular spaces are absent. They are covered with cuticle. Now you might be thinking, what is cuticle? So at the bottom it is written cuticle. It is the waxy waterproof layer of cutin. Okay? So it is the waxy layer of cutin, like you're having the lignin, pectin. In the same way, suberin is there and cutin is there. Once again, important point, it is the outer layer, protective layer. Try to apply your brain and just try to think. Protect means what? It is going to protect. Now how it is going to protect the plant? It is going to protect the plant through the help of the protective tissue. So that is the function of the protective tissue. They are forming the outer layer. Once again we'll see, forming outer layer of root stems. Protects against any harsh conditions, climatic conditions, or any pathogens. They are closely packed and intercellular spaces are absent because they are very nearby to each other. There will be no intercellular space between them. Very close, tightly packed. What they are covered with? Cuticle. This is a new term for you. And as I stated, what is cuticle? It is the waxy layer that is of cutin. Cuticle, it contains a wax-proof layer that is called as cutin. So what is cutin, suberin, and the lignin? Okay, they are the materials, name of the materials. Like something is having a particular name, then that particular name we accept it. In the same way it is called as that waxy layer, if it is called as cutin, we need to remember it by that name. There is nothing more about it. And then the next particular part of the protective tissue. If we talk about xerophytes, then what are xerophytes? First of all, these are the plants that are generally present in the desert region, which don't need more amount of water, which they are not taking more amount of water, and hence they need to preserve the water. They are the ones that are generally growing in the desert areas. So in the desert areas, wherever there is less water, they need to preserve the water, and for preserving the water, the tissue that is helping the plant in preventing the water loss is this, that is the protective tissue. With the help of cuticle, it is doing it. So what is the important function of cuticle? In xerophytes, it is very thick. Why? Because it will not allow the water to escape. So it will prevent the water loss. Intercellular space is absent. That means space between two particular cells is absent. Protects the plant from the pathogens. When these tissues they become dead, chara emerichai, at that time they are called as cork. Try to recall when we were doing about the Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke had first observed the bark of the tree, and these were the cork part. Okay, he had observed the cork cells. That is these cells. He had observed protective tissues actually. And they are heavily deposited with suberin to prevent the loss of water. As I said, we are having a waxy layer cuticle in the same way like lignin there is suberin. Again, both of them are having the similar function, that is they are preventing the loss. Okay, so first note down the content that was before this and the next one. You are having 2 minutes time to note it, quickly note it down. Just there are 5 points. After that, we'll move further. Quickly note it. Last few seconds, then we will move on the next slide. Be quick. Okay, next, be quick, note it down. Last few seconds, after that we'll move further. We'll see some more points on protective tissue and we'll also discuss about the stomata. Okay, now next part. This work, what is the work of the cock? It works as an insulin sheet, that is, with the help of the cock, there will be fire will not catch easily. So these are the dead cells. Because these are dead cells, they will help in the protection and they will also not catch fire easily. Now this is about the whole of the plant. This is where the particular tissue is located. The vascular tissues, that is the xylem and phloem, they are located over here inside. Outside is the dermal and here is the ground tissue. Coming to the dermal, that means this epidermal part. The meaning of the word epidermal is the outer layer, skin, you can say it as. It is coming from the word outer layer, you can say it as skin layer. So it is the covering of the plant. Over there it is present. Vascular tissues, they conduct water and plant, we have already discussed. And over here ground tissues, in that all the systems that are storing the food and all that things are coming. This is how actually the basic bifurcation is there. You look at it, it becomes clear. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the stomata. So, what actually a stomata is? There are small pores. If I try to explain you, then early in the morning, many times, whenever there is no rain, at that times also, early in the morning, on the leaf, sometimes you observe small drops of water. Even when there is, you can see how it is opening. Even when there is no rain at that time also, many times you might be observing the water droplets. Now what is the reason why these water droplets are there? These water droplets are actually because of stomata. What is actually happening? Stomata is something which helps in the gaseous exchange. It opens up and it closes, and ultimately it is helping in the movement. Here it is that it is containing chloroplast. See, you can see the opening. Just observe it. It will open up. This is how the gaseous exchange is taking place. So, it will allow the gaseous exchange during the photosynthesis and respiration. One very important point is coming over here, that is, during transpiration, the water will escape through this only, and so only many times, even in the absence of water, early in the morning we can see that small tiny water droplets. Here it is, you can see this is the way the water molecules are going on and they are creating. Just look at the structure. Okay? So before we move further, the points about the stomata are mentioned over here. Please note it down so that we can move further. There are just 4 points. 4th is coming. Quickly note down. I'm giving you 1 minute time only to note down this. After that, we'll have a quick look on whatever part we did today. Okay, and then we'll depart. With this, the plant tissue will get over. Be quick in noting. Okay, so I hope that you have noted all the content. Now let's move further from the beginning of the content. We started on with phloem, and it's over here. This is the important part. Okay, phloem. As you can see, it is containing sieve tubes, phloem parenchyma, fibers, and companion cells. The sieve tubes are, you can see, they are like companion cells, and at the end they are having a plate which is slightly bulging. It is containing pits for the conduction. Okay, you can see the fiber, it is very narrow and it is tapered towards the end. Like sieve tubes only, we are having companion cells, so the origin and function is same. So they are called as Bain cells, that is sister cells. And parenchyma, why does it help in? Parenchyma helps in lateral conduction. Okay, where does it help in? The lateral conduction. Conduction in this way. So here it is. Sieve tubes, they are tube-like structures forming forming a row, and at the end what it is having? The sieve plates which are bulging companion cells. They have common origin and function, and so only what are they called as? Sister cells. Phloem parenchyma will perform the lateral conduction of the solutes. Coming to the fibers, then they have narrow lumen and they are tapered towards the end. Then next, phloem parenchyma and fibers, companion cells and sieve tubes. Okay. Then we had a discussion regarding all the simple permanent tissue, that is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Parenchyma, these are the points which you have to remember, then the further things will become very easy for you. A cell wall, here it is made up of cellulose, here it is made up of lignin. Sorry, here it is made up of pectin. Lignin is over here. This is made up of pectin and here lignin. Cytoplasm, here abundant present and present. Nucleus present, while here these are the dead tissues, so they don't contain any nucleus. Coming to the vacuoles, large vacuoles, here it is absent. Intercellular space, here there is very less, so it is generally called as absent. Coming to the occurrence, they are basically the packing tissues. It is present in the pith, cortex and in the medullary rays, while these are present in the stems, and over here these are present in the seeds. Coming to the functions, they are helping in storing the food. Also they are providing the buoyancy. These are giving the mechanical strength, and the sclerenchyma, they are also providing some kind of strength. Ultimately they are helping the plants for the growth. Then we discussed about the protective tissues. Important words in the protective tissues were cutin and suberin. What is cutin? The waxy layer that is present, and in xerophytes it is having a thick layer to prevent the loss of water. It will also protect the plant against any of the harsh conditions. These are closely packed, so intercellular spaces are absent. And what are they covered with? Cuticle. The terms are new, so be careful. Okay, cuticle, it is more thick in xerophytes, why? To prevent the loss. Again, the part intercellular space is absent. It is an important word. Protect plant. When the tissues die, and they become old, they are called as cork, and they are heavily deposited with suberin to prevent the loss of water. Next, this cork, it acts as an insulin sheath and it doesn't catch fire easily, and this was about the diagrammatic look of it. You have noted about stomata, but these 2 points of the corks are left out. Quickly note it down in the cork section, and then we'll move further. Be quick, note down this. I'm giving you 30 seconds to note down this. After that, we'll move further. Then we had a discussion regarding the stomata. Here it is. These are the small pores that are present in the leaf, and around it are two guard cells. These are like bean shaped. The guard cells, they will open and close, and they only regulate the opening of the stomata. This is how it actually opens up. You can just say these are the guard cells, and when it is open, when it is closed, it is looking like this. This is open stomata, and this one is the closed one. When it is opened, at that time the particles are, there is the gaseous exchange. Okay, so this is open stomata, this is closed stomata. This we have already discussed, that they are containing chloroplast, allow the gaseous exchange during the photosynthesis and respiration. Moreover, during transpiration, they are helping in the water escape. This is what we saw. Just observe it. The water molecules are coming out here. Here you can see that they are going in. Any gases? Okay. So that is the part that we have done today. I hope that you have understood all the content that we have done today. Important points about phloem. Okay. See, the content is more to learn over here, so you have to give your maximum efforts in learning. Things become very easy when it properly, so learn it very well. Do your homework regularly, as in how you are doing. Thank you so much for listening to me, and have a very good day, all of you. Bye. And keep the notes, because notes are equally important. Okay, so that's all. Have a very good day, all of you. Bye.